Roll at launch plus 48 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight of the Delta II with OCO-2. We're standing by for acquisition now through the Hartebeestok tracking station in South Africa. That station will be giving us our spacecraft separation confirmation, as well as hopefully some video of the spacecraft separating from the Delta II second stage. We're going to be listening in for Steve Agid, once again, our flight telemetry engineer, calling the events of the second stage as it begins to reorient for the second stage restart. At 49 minutes, 30 seconds into the flight of the Delta II with OCO-2, this is Delta Launch Control.
This is Delta Flight Commentary at T plus 50 minutes into the flight. Less than 1 minute now until the second burn of the second stage. We're now receiving a video picture from the Hartebeestok ground station in South Africa. That'll enable us to take a look at the spacecraft separation about 6 minutes from now. But prior to that, we'll begin our burn in about another half minute. This second burn of the second stage is a very short burn, about 12 seconds. Hydraulics are on. Standing by. And we have ignition on the second stage. Chamber pressure is good. Engine control is good. And we have OCO. Short burn was completed. Hydraulics off. This is the Delta Flight Commentary at 52 minutes 33 seconds in. Just taking a look at our OCO-2 preliminary numbers, and they're all very close to the expected values. About 3 minutes now until spacecraft separation. Now 54 minutes into the flight, a little over 2 minutes till spacecraft separation. Our video is coming from the Hardebeestök ground station, being relayed here from the onboard camera. Less than 2 minutes away. Now 55 minutes into the flight.
Spacecraft separation occurs 56 minutes, 15 seconds into the mission. As expected, we have a live video picture of OCO-2 as it moves into position for separation from the second stage, and as expected, it is pointing into the sun, which is part of the mission profile.
About a half a minute now until spacecraft separation. We are standing by. Now 56 minutes in. We have two good brake wires, an Excel event, and spacecraft separation. Good spacecraft separation. The orbiting Carbon Observatory has now separated from the second stage and is flying on its own.
Yeah, there's a seat. You can't. There's no way you can be able to see it. Awesome, man. Thanks. Good job.
This is Delta Flight commentary at 59 minutes into the flight. About 26 minutes remain until the third burn of the second stage.
This is Delta Launch Control. We're 1 hour, 20 seconds into the flight. We have confirmation that we have data from the OCO-2 spacecraft now flowing through TDRS, the Tracking and Data Relay Satellite System. And we're standing by for confirmation of solar arrays beginning to deploy.
This is Delta Flight commentary at 1 hour, 3 minutes, 2 seconds into the flight. At this point, we have just ended our evasive maneuver. And some 21 minutes and 48 seconds away from our third burn of the second stage.
This is Delta Launch Control. We've had a successful spacecraft separation of OCO-2, and the mission is on track for providing us with a healthy spacecraft, as well as having had a successful flight on the Delta II. And here to talk about that with us is Tim Dunn, who was our NASA launch manager during the countdown. Tim, first of all, tell us what your understanding is about the satellite itself, and then tell us how the flight went.
Okay, so I just left the Mission Director Center where I was chatting with the spacecraft mission director, and he had just received confirmation that solar arrays have deployed. They are in contact with OCO-2, and the solar arrays were functional and they were power positive. All very good news.
All right, so we've met our mission objective right off the bat as far as getting it to the right place at the right time. So how did the countdown of the flight look to you?
Well, the countdown was extremely smooth, very quiet. You probably noticed that there was not a lot of chatter on the nets.
It was very quiet.
We had no anomalies to discuss on our anomaly net. The range, I want to thank the 30th Space Wing. They had an impeccable range for us to launch on. Not a single instrumentation issues to discuss throughout the countdown. The spacecraft was rock solid in the fairing during the entire countdown. Delta II performed like a champ after almost 3 years back on the pad. Although this was our second attempt at launching, it all came together tonight. And we did experience that disappointment that we didn't get off on our first attempt yesterday, but being the professional team that we are, bounced right back, did what we needed to do, came in today, and now we're celebrating. There was pure joy in the Mission Director Center at Spacecraft SEP. I can tell you that.
Well, Tim, it's good to know that we've had a good flight, and we're already seeing that OCO-2 is right on. We're going to be having a post-launch briefing here very shortly at 5:30 Pacific time, and we'll have our project manager from JPL, Ralph Basilio, tell us exactly what the state of health of OCO-2 is. But in any event, Tim, tell us, we've got another Delta II coming up out here before too long.
Yes, actually, just this November, we're going to be back out. LSP team will be back out here at Vandenberg for the SMAP mission, the Soil Moisture Active Passive mission. So we're really looking forward to that, another mission on Delta II. So, George, if I could, I would like to mention something that you brought up yesterday during our first attempt, and that was this mission was particularly special to Launch Services Program because we dedicated it to one of our teammates, Lori Walls, who passed away earlier in June. So Lori was a founding member of LSP, had been with the program the entire time until her death, and we dedicated this mission to her, and she would have been thrilled with this. She loved Delta II. I worked many missions with her, and so we're really happy that we could honor her with this. There was a memorial decal that was placed on the fixed umbilical tower. So,
yeah, she certainly would be very happy with the successful outcome of this flight tonight. Indeed.
Yes.
Well, that's going to conclude our launch commentary coverage for this flight of the Delta II with OCO-2. Stay tuned for the post-launch news conference at 5:30 Pacific time. And this will bring us to a conclusion of our coverage for tonight's launch. This is Delta Launch Control.